Hello everyone, welcome. Today I want to talk about resistance. And not that I'm completely free of all resistance, but there's a lot less than there used to be. And that's like probably the whole reason a lot of us are here. And maybe to sort of stop suffering. Which I would say stop resisting life, resisting what's arising. Because it's kind of what suffering is. It's when we want life to be another way than it is. And when it's not the way we want it to be, we struggle and we push against it. And for me, that was the big motivating factor of this path, was to end suffering. And now, as I said, I'm not completely free of suffering. And I say that just so there's not unrealistic expectations here. I can't speak for anyone else's experiences, but I can say the suffering is so much less. So much less than it used to be. And that's through seeing what I hopefully will point out in this video. And the inquiry is quite simple. It's what's this moment without it needing to be more than it is? Or what's this moment without the story or idea that it needs to be better? That something needs to change for it to be at peace. That when I finally have a stable, quiet mind, when this feeling of resistance and heaviness finally falls away, when I don't feel like I am suffering anymore. You know, we're kind of waiting for this perfect moment, or this clear shift, and then of freedom, and then and then we'll finally be at peace. But it's not like that. It's not like this stable state of peace that just abide and you're just in it permanently. It's more like you don't mind what happens or what's arising. Because tell me, when there's a good feeling arising and there's negativity arising, the only difference in why one causes suffering and one causes happiness is the mind says, I don't want this, or this. It's like, if you didn't need each moment to be more than it is, that suffering, whatever's arising, doesn't become a problem anymore. The suffering is from not wanting it to be there. And it's just seeing, like, do I need this to change? Or is there just a belief or a story about it? And from when we say we can't really change anything. Like, yeah, we can take steps and change conditions, right? And that can help. But the fundamental sense of something being wrong, the fundamental sense of not wanting what's arising or our life situation. Not that we don't change conditions even if we've accepted them, right? It's not like we just let whatever's happening happen and don't try to shift and move things. And it's not for the sake of maintaining a stable state of peace. It's just less resistance, less needing things to change. With the, let's say, resistance is arising, frustration. So what's this without it needing to change? What's this moment without it needing to be more? And maybe the resistance loosens a little bit. And maybe what we're resisting isn't so bad. It's just all the thought, all the story around it. And you'll notice it's a big issue is thought and story. And we're so quick to jump to a conclusion about what's arising, what this is. But we end up pushing it, and we create a sort of distance through thought. What is this without it needing to be more? What's this moment without it needing to be more? And it just can ease things. And almost like a forced surrender. It's probably a bit too poetic, but just a clear seeing that I don't need to push against everything that's arising, because maybe it's not a problem like the mind is saying. Maybe what's arising is deeply okay and perfect and exactly what's meant to be. But you won't see that if you're constantly trying to push this moment away. Want to crave a better one, get a better one, and hold on to it. And then lose it and feel frustrated. What's this pain? What's this resistance without my story about it? It's almost always belief and story that adds so much pain to something. And this isn't like do this to get rid of what's arising. This process isn't about getting rid of it, like getting rid of something and gaining peace. I guess the best word is just seeing clearly, by not seeing through a lens of belief or story. It's looking without relating in a way. And in that, and just what's this pain without my story about it? It's like revealed more clearly, and it's just, the words kind of fail, right? We notice a lot of our struggle. It's unnecessary. We don't need to be pushing against every moment, constantly, all the time. And it's kind of like the fundamental mechanism of suffering it's just this thing in us that says, no, I don't want this. I want this moment to be more. I want it to be more awake. I want it to be more enlightened. I want more money. I want more security. I want this. I want that. I don't want what's arising. Of course, some conditions are going to be harder to say, to not apply this, but to see clearly. But sometimes it's important to be direct with yourself. And as valid as stories can be, right? This isn't also, I'm not denying, but in a session, I'll have to be there's a directness that has to arise, and not from a place of denial. You can keep the story you have, the suffering, you can keep it, but you just don't have to look through it. So you've got your story, and now let's relate to the pain from a place of, I guess, non-relating, from a place of without story. And it's like things can just calm down so quickly. And yes, it may still be uncomfortable. And maybe that's okay. Maybe it's sweet. Because it's like life is inevitably will bring pain and suffering. And we can't avoid it. But the superpower is in not needing it to go anywhere, not needing to get rid of suffering, to see that it's completely okay, it's completely fine. And then it's like, is it even really suffering at that point? It's just another flavor of this moment. And it's always changing. Sometimes it feels better, sometimes it feels good, sometimes there's resistance. But the sense of it needing to be more is where all the struggle comes from. So what's this moment without it needing to be more? Even just for a few seconds, really let go into that question. Just pretend, I know I've got this and that story, and I'm still working through this, and still resistance and suffering. It's like, okay, for a few seconds, drop all that. What if this moment didn't need to be more? And I don't know what who's watching and what they're going through. But yeah, it's kind of all I can point really is with that question. Because even in spirituality, it gets subtle, and we're like, oh, how do I drop this and let go of this and let go of this resistance and this, and then I'll finally be free, or when I do this. And it's like, it's not the goal in my eyes, like from what I see. It's losing that need for life to be some way, for you to be some way. It's that approaching life without beliefs about it. And it's where true peace can arise, and not the feeling of, maybe the feeling of peace, but not to create some expectation, but lack of resistance, lack of pushing. Tension, pain comes up. It's like, okay, I don't need this to be more. Let it be. I don't see an issue. What stories are you holding about this moment which are blocking, I guess, it needing to be more, or blocking that sense of it not needing to be more? Probably expectation, sometimes disappointment. Because I had all these expectations of awakening, that it was gonna, like, I don't know, put me in some supreme state of equanimity and peace. And I wouldn't be affected by the world around me or anything like that anymore. And it's more like you just don't mind what's happening anymore. You're not filtering reality through story all the time. You're just a bit more open. It's like, okay, resistance, interesting. and it's not like I'm interesting when it arises, but you just see it's pushing against its futile. It just makes things worse. Like if you have inflammation and you start squeezing and pushing on it, it makes it worse. If you're pressing against a nail, or you've got something sharp in your skin, you don't keep pushing it and go, I don't want this in here, and you keep, it just increases the suffering and expectation of what awakening looks like and what it will do for you when that mental image isn't fulfilled. It's like there's suffering. And it seems, in my videos, like it's just talking about beliefs and just seeing what beliefs we're having and letting them go. It just seems to be what it's like these days, and that's all I do in a session. Because what beliefs do you have? And let's let them go. And in that way, it's like we meet life more directly. It's like beliefs are the sort of film between us and life, right? And when there's no beliefs, right, there's no us. There's just life. Just life without anything, or without something relating or trying to receive it. And there's still thought, there's still beliefs that arise. Do they hold ultimate power or ground? No. Thought and beliefs, they're like a lens, or they're like almost like a drug. It's intoxicating, and it just makes us deluded. And when they're not there, there's just an openness, a soberness. Yeah, as suffering, resistance will arise. And they can be okay. It doesn't have to be what the mind says it is. It's hard to call it resistance and suffering at that point when it's okay, but still, you could just say it's unpleasant. But the story always makes it worse. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.